Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to hear a story titled, I Left My Wife After She Ghosted Me. Am I the A-Hole? And a shout out to Thomas for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a guy who's been married for 31 years. And after one evening of unbelievable disrespect, and in my opinion cheating, he's done. He is kicking this a-hole wife of his to the curb. And as I go through this story, guys, you will most certainly agree that she's an a-hole. However, he's not innocent either. He is your classic, by his behavior here, husband, who's probably Captain Yes Dear. Happy life mindset. And she treats him accordingly, as women don't respect weak guys, pushovers. And you'll see this. Now, she's a big giant a-hole, as you'll see, but this guy clearly has been putting up with this stuff for a long time, and he's done. So there's a lot to learn here in the story, guys. Don't endure the BS that he endures too long, or better yet, don't let it happen in the first place. Don't act like a doormat, a pushover. Let yourself being pushed around by your girl, because guess what? They'll become more turned off by you and turn up the notch and disrespect. But you can always get out and move on. So it starts off, says here, my wife, a 53-year-old female, and I, a 54-year-old male. She's from Greece. We've been married for 31 years and raised 4 wonderful kids. We both work, spend plenty of happy time together. We aren't wealthy but financially stable, and our kids are the world to us. Deary said we spend plenty of happy time together. There is no way, based on how this story you're going to hear, is all sunshine and rainbows. No way. While we've had a few bumps in our marriage, we never had any serious problems all these years together. I call BS on that. She is very close to her Greek heritage, and we spend a lot of time at Greek functions, church, social clubs, etc. I usually have a good time at these things, but I never learned to speak Greek fluently. So there have been a few of these nights where I was bored and had to amuse myself. I don't know, guys. I think if I was married to a chick that didn't speak my language after 3 decades, I would become pretty darn fluent in that. Think about it. Well, it's never a problem. I was always happy to power through those as long as my wife had a good time. You already said there? I'll get through it as long as she has a good time. The last function we attended, we sat next to each other at dinner, and the club's photographer sat next to my wife on the other side. He and my wife hit it off, which would never be a problem. Maybe they grew up together in the same neighborhood, I don't know. But suddenly he became the sole focus of her attention, to the point where she blew me off all night. That ain't cool. And he shouldn't tolerate that crap. She shouldn't be treating him like that. That's when you stand your ground. You tell that guy to take a freaking long-ass walk, or you're going to whoop his ass, and you put her in her place. No, he doesn't do that. Again, typically not a problem. Oh, so this has happened before. Interesting. We've been together a long time, and I have pretty thick skin, and most importantly, I certainly trust her. Smack! Never ever blindly trust anybody. But they were deep in conversation in Greek all through dinner. I have no idea what they're talking about, and she ignored me almost completely. So the whole dinner, she's talking to the photographer, totally ignoring him, speaking to him in Greek. That's disrespect. But he's putting up with it. Again, there's no way this is the first time this has happened. Women don't respect weak guys, and a lot of times they'll punish them when they act weak. Well, she also got annoyed with me a few times when I spoke to her and asked her what she was talking about and to at least acknowledge me. This treatment continued most of the night, and you should have been tolerating it, man. You should have stood your ground or walked. End of story. She stuck with him, not me, all night, danced with him, and spent quite a bit of time with him doing shots at the bar. Smack! Again, why are you allowing this? She's publicly embarrassing you. People are noticing. Newsflash, dude. People gossip. They're going to be like, look at what's his name's wife over there dancing with that guy doing shots. She's behaving like a single woman. And you're just allowing it. You're sitting at the fucking table holding her purse. Every time I tried to engage her in any way, she reacted like I was putting a damper on her good time. So I gave up and sat at the table for the night and just let her do her thing, but I was not happy. Smack! Dude. In her mind, you're a complete jackass. A mangina. Don't worry, guys. He will man up at the end. And you can't tell me, guys, that he hasn't been conditioned to do this. He hasn't been this way probably the majority of their marriage. She has no respect for him. And you can't be in a relationship or marriage without respect. At the very least, he should have got up and walked away. Again, I'm picturing sitting at the table, looking annoyed, and holding her fucking purse. What's next? Going out and getting her tampons or something from the tampon machine? Really. Sometime after 11 p.m., she finally comes over and asks if I'm ready to go home. I said I'm ready when she is, and she said, okay. Then she pointed at another woman and said, I just need to talk to her about a couple of things. We're going to leave in 15 minutes. And I said, fine, and went out the back of the banquet hall to have a cigarette. Again, he's just sitting around at her beck and call like her manservant. This is why she treats him like this. Like, she's an asshole. Don't get me wrong, but he is inviting this. When I came back in, she was nowhere to be found. I tried to call her, but no answer. No reason to panic. Her phone might be in her purse or something like that. I sat at our table for another 15 minutes, looking around for her, and never found her. What disrespect. So I walked around and asked a few people if they saw her. The fourth person I asked said she might have left for the after party. I knew nothing about an after party, so I inquired, and she said in an apologetic tone, and that let me know I wasn't invited, that the club president was hosting an after party at her home, and that it was for club officials, employees, and special guests. It turns out my wife was also invited, and I was not. Man. So not only does the wife disrespect him, but so also does this community. You'd think he'd probably learn to speak Greek at this point to know what's going on here. Remember how he was talking about happy times in his marriage? Bullshit. Who do you think she went to the party with? I trust that my wife was invited, and I was not. I didn't think that was a thing, as my wife never mentioned any after party. Wake up, genius. She didn't mention an after party because she didn't want you to go. And she didn't want you to say no. If she just left, she could have been like, well, I went to the valet station and brought a picture of my wife up on the phone and asked if either of the valets saw her. And one of them told me that she left about 10 minutes ago. I really didn't want to tell the whole world that my wife might be making a fool of me, so I told a few lies about how we needed her to sign some paperwork and maneuvered one of the valets into telling me she left with a gentleman in the navy blazer and beige slacks. Yep, the photographer. Shocker. And by the way, you don't need to tell people that your wife made a fool of you. People are quite aware of that thing. And I guarantee you this isn't the first time. So, gentlemen, where has he gone wrong? I don't even know where to begin. Certainly shouldn't have allowed all this. At the very least, he should have left her ass there. And some of you guys may have said earlier in the evening, if he left her, well, then she could just go off with that guy. Well, she's gone off with him anyway. And then even a reason to get rid of her. Guys, women don't respect weakness. And the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. But also, he's a classic nice guy. And I told you guys, one of the biggest things that nice guys will never do is check a woman, put in her place, stand up for himself. Bad boys always do it, and they flock to the bad boys. And bad boys also put themselves first. Nice guys put themselves last. And this guy's demonstrated both those things. Both those things. Don't worry, guys. We're getting there. He redeems himself. Well, I stayed around the banquet hall for another 20 minutes, calling her, texting her, and never receiving a response. Duh, shocker, amigo. So I went home, and I was up all night calling her and texting her. Dude, why? Pack up your shit and get out of there. No answer, no reply. At 4:31 in the morning, after the final attempt to call her, I asked myself, why the fuck am I chasing her down instead of packing my bags? Thank God, man. He finally had an epiphany at 4:31 a.m. So I packed a bunch of my belongings and put them in the car and made a hotel reservation for myself. Good. Thank you, Lord. Well, at 5:24 a.m., I was on the second floor common area balcony having a cigarette when a car pulls up in front of our building. It sits there running until 5:37 a.m. Okay, so that's 13 minutes running. And then the front passenger door opens up and the car's interior light came on. I see my wife and this guy in the car. She gets out, they're chatting and laughing in Greek, and my wife tells him goodnight. She closes the door after him and blows him a kiss as he drove away. How much information do you need to know that, aside from her behavior at the banquet hall, she's cheating? Come on here. What, they just went out that night to just talk? I'm guessing it sounds to me like they're in the city. And I guess there's a hotel literally across the street from their apartment building. I don't know. That way he can see what's going on. That's the best I can connect the dots here. Well, I saw that she went upstairs into her condo. I saw the bedroom light come on, and after a few minutes, she came looking for me on the balcony. No hello, no apology. She seemed mad at me and angrily asked why I'm out there. Oh, my bad. He got a reservation at the hotel. Okay, but he stayed home to see when she got home. Then he could leave her ass. Okay. I told her to go to bed and we'll talk in the morning. Good. Finally, he's grown a pair. She said, whatever, and huffed back into her condo. While I went downstairs, got my car, and left. Okay, literally, he waited around just to say goodbye, kiss my ass. He didn't exactly say that, but you know what I mean. I would have just left. Well, she's immediately calling me and texting me where I was going, but I ignored her. See how she likes it. And I spent the next 2 nights at the hotel and then went to stay with a friend. She has no idea where I'm staying. I'm ignoring her calls and her texts, and I'm telling her kids to stay out of it. I spoke with an attorney and asked for divorce papers to be served. Nice. It's about time. Now, again, people are going to be like, what, divorcing her all because of one night? Well, in my opinion, that behavior certainly warrants it, and there's no way she was out talking about Greek history with this guy at the after party. She's sleeping with him. But even if she didn't sleep with this guy, the complete disrespect, it's unreal. They can't go on like this. But tell the kids to stay out of it. This guy better control the narrative, because if not, she will. I haven't told my kids the why yet. They keep asking me what the hell's going on, and I'm telling them not to involve themselves. That's a stupid idea. You want her to turn the kids against you? You better fucking tell them the truth. My soon-to-be ex-wife not only thinks I'm overacting, but that she didn't do anything wrong in the first place. That ignoring me all night, giving her undivided attention to another guy, telling me we're going to leave, and then disappearing with the other guy to go to an after party she never mentioned to me, and ignoring my calls and texts for the rest of the night was nothing for me to be mad about. Well, of course, because she doesn't want to accept accountability. She wants to twist it around and put it on him to make him out to be the bad guy because, well, of course, the man's always the bad guy, right? Wrong. Bullshit. That coming home at 5:30 in the morning was no big deal. She also keeps texting me that nothing happened between her and the guy, but that makes no difference. I mean, first of all, I don't believe that. And second of all, even if nothing happened at all, again, disrespect. He's done. Her actions that night made me feel a hatred that I would have never thought I would have for her. It took her one single night to turn 30 plus years of being head over heels for her into hate. Smack! He's never been head over heels with her, and there's no way that BS like this hasn't been happening for a long time. You're kidding yourself, man. I think he just so Captain Yes Dear, those types, yes dear, that he didn't realize it. It brings tears in my eyes. How could she do this kind of thing to me? Because she doesn't love you. She has no respect for you. She thinks you're a pussy. I don't know what she told the kids, and I really don't care. Bullshit. My friends who I told the story to think maybe I'm acting a little too extreme. Tell me, Reddit, am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole now, except for this not telling your kids part. You better tell your kids. You better control the narrative. You're not the a-hole for divorcing her. It's about damn time. You could have handled the evening completely differently, because again, there's no way this hasn't happened before. You should have checked her right then and there when the bullshit started, but you were being Captain Yes Dear. Or at the very least, should have left her. But better late than never. Do not go back on the divorce. She's going to raise holy hell. At least it sounds like the kids probably are old enough to be all legal adults, so there'll be no child support. Yeah, she's going to hit you with alimony, and you're going to take half your shit and all that, and probably get to keep the condo. But you'll be a free man. And you need to learn where you went wrong so this doesn't happen again. But then again, when he's in his 50s, he may never want to get in a relationship again. But there you go, guys. Very important thing. Don't act like a pushover. Have balls. Stand up for yourself. You know, nobody respects a weakling. Okay? End of story. Especially women. Women are repelled by it. Now, some women will just cheat and get rid of a guy, but others will stay with him and make their lives a living hell. Some will literally do shit in hopes that the guy grows a pair, stands up for himself, puts her in her place, you know, and the longer he acts like a man giant, the longer it's going to take her to see maybe he's changed and cut the crap. But then again, if a gal, your wife is treating you like crap, shit. Even if you do a 180 and become R-pilled and stand up for yourself, why the fuck would you want to stay with her anyway? But anyhow, better late than never. Now, some comments, because the whole comment section is on his side. One guy says here, not the a-hole, though it's important to come at her not with hot anger, but with cold logic and reason, so she understands it's not the usual anger for a while, cool off in a week, back to the normal BS type of thing. Wife truly doesn't care about the OP, she's just comfortable with the current arrangement. It's not the marriage he wants, it's just a marriage he's been enabling for a while. It's 100% unacceptable, and the wife obviously doesn't even like, let alone respect the OP. To be honest, though, this has an old dynamic. It's like this. It's been like this long for the light bulb to go off in his head. Yeah, like I said, this has been going on for a long time. Another guy says here, tell the kids it's vital you do this. Otherwise, she'll just poison them against you first. You might not care now, but imagine a future without your kids in it. Ghosting you because of the lies and poison that piece of shit will doubtlessly drip into their ears. Talk to them now, not the a-hole. Yeah, if he doesn't do that, every moment that passes, because they're going to call her and say, Mom, what's going on with that? And then she's going to just say all her shit, you know? And one more, this guy says, wow, my blood is boiling just reading this. I'd be furious and done. I don't care how many years we've been together. She thought it right out the window. Blew him a kiss as he was leaving. Yeah, sure, nothing happened. The biggest problem, she will never be able to prove nothing happened, and I'd never believe nothing happened. That was so cold-blooded, she may have well slept with him because her actions alone were enough. If you let her set the narrative with your kids, it'll be bad. You need to get in front of it and explain to them exactly what happened. Exactly. And by the way, any friends of his who are telling him he's in the wrong here, he had to seriously question his allegiance in relation to those friends. But I'm willing to bet you a guy like this, like a lot of married guys, I bet you his buddies are saying this, criticizing his actions, are no doubt married themselves. And as, you know, we're the average of the 5 people we spend time with, they're probably a bunch of pussies too. And are walked over. And they don't want to be alone. They don't have the balls to divorce their wives. So they want to keep him just like them. So I'd be looking at the big picture, not just ending with her, but any mangina friends of his are holding him back. But anyhow, made mistakes, but in the end, good for him. So we can learn here. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you find a good story for me to cover, send it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.